Greetings, hey everybody, it's me again. This time, Double Dragon. I got two carts. This is my original cartridge. You know, notice the seal on this one. It's got the secure bit for screws in the back, and it's rippy. Well, this is the one I just purchased with the console, the control deck. Notice the different seal on it, and this one has flathead screws. So we might be in store for two different PCBs, and I'm sure it's the same game, but maybe there might be a little bit of discrepancies. You know, I'm just thinking, just throwing it out there. This came first, and this came second for seals. If you're be looking those up, you'll see some really neat factors that are going on the collection realm, or you know, the collectability of these things. It's right here. Check out the different types of seals. So yeah, let's open them up. I'm gonna open this one up first, and then we'll work on this one, or this one first, and then this one. Let's do this one first. And yes, we're gonna go red and blue. Well, this is the best I got for red. It's kind of orange, but you know, that's red. This is more of an orange, but it's what we have. So yeah, red and blue. My day is going absolutely fantastic. Got out of the house this evening and I mowed my lawn. These are unusually magnetic. Okay. Let's set the other cart over here. Let's get it up and out of the way. Alright, nothing notably different. It's not even being worn, you know, it's not even worn out or anything either. It looks pretty clean. Cool. What's with that black Sharpie on the inside? You see that too? What is that about? I think somebody came in here and opened it up already, cleaned it. Maybe. Well, it might be a distinct possibility since there's no grime right along there either. Well, let's see what this looks like on this side here. Oh, look at those chip sets. Those are some neat ones. Ones that we haven't seen before. The program P.O.W. That's cool. Alright, well, let's get busy cleaning it up. I mean, I don't see any corrosion. I don't see anything that would be, you know, like, oh great, I gotta pull out the soldering iron and fix it or anything like that. So, yeah. Go ahead and scrub her down and clean her up. But as I was saying earlier, I was able to get out of the house and mow my lawn, and was very happy to do so since the temp finally dropped down a little bit. Sorry for my reach, I'm just putting screws back into the back of the cart. I don't want them flying all over somewhere. Misplacing them, that would be a real bummer. Alright, yeah, I'm definitely going to have to sterilize this one for a second real quick. The temp definitely dropped down big time around here in my location in Minnesota. It's feeling really comfortable now. Tomorrow or actually at 5 in the morning, we're supposed to be hit by a really big storm. A really big one. And yeah, we're looking at 70-mile-an-hour winds. That's not normal for around here. So might be seeing some touchdowns of tornadoes and other extreme weather conditions. Getting that cart to board line. So that's why I'm getting this out of the way now while I'm loading up Zelda 2 to YouTube so I could download it again and then upload it to Instagram. giving me something to do. Being as productive as possible, man. Getting that lawn done was not something I was expecting to do, but I just felt like getting out there and doing it. And it was cool enough where I was on my Full-On Pro, and I was just, man, it took me half the amount of time. Give me 1 second. Sorry, I'm going to bump the camera here. I'm going to bring it down just closer so you can see what I'm doing on the PCB. I had it up high so that you guys can see both of the cartridges at the same time. I wasn't paying attention there. Sorry, I was digressions. I kept thinking about mowing my lawn and how fast it was this time. It usually takes me forever just to get those patterns down, or the mow lines, or just it feels like it was way longer than it rightfully should be taking. And this time around, it was just like a meh. It was just very, very casual and easy and simple, and like I definitely have the pattern down to get that accomplished right away. So I think it took me maybe 1 hour and 15 minutes to mow my lawn, and it's 1.86 acres. 1.86 acres, and I mowed it within an hour and a half, or hour 15 minutes, something like that. And I wanted to make sure that I get the the pattern across it properly too. Yeah, give me a second here. I'm gonna put a fan right here so I can blow that down. There you go, so you can at least have a cross ventilation to dry it some. Alright, that's a little bit high. Let me shorten this down just a little bit. I don't want to have it, like wobbling on me while I'm doing this. And I'm going to get another card to go underneath the blue, because I like having it up just a little bit higher than the 2mm it is. This foam is 2mm thick, and it seems that some of these chipsets are more 4mm high than 2mm high, and that's good to know if you want to do something with them. And now I could actually press a little bit more firmly on this to get this grime off of here. And yes, I'm wearing safety glasses. Be sure to definitely wear your safety glasses and proper PPE while working on this. I charged the eraser, but as you can tell, I'm making sure that I'm putting and applying the proper amount of pressure on it. And this is going to look really nice when I'm finished. I can already see it. It's almost taken the wear line off of it too. Or the, what do you call them? Contact pad wear marks. Wonderfully. So Double Dragon. How many people played Double Dragon, and how many people remember watching the movie Wizard? With those notable actors and actresses that played in the parts for that movie? Yeah, for Nintendo. I liked it because it showed this particular version of the game on the Player's Choice. Player's Choice 10, or whatever it's called. The Play 10 arcade cabinet. And Double Dragon was in it. Of course, Mario 3 was also in there too. Take a look at, go ahead, check out both my videos, or if you'd like to. It's all good. So I have a code video up of Mario 3, and then I have a cleaning video as well with I believe a new label or a reproduction label replacement. Yeah, I'll leave a link right here, little top corner, right there. It's like right there. There's a little dot. Go ahead and click on that. You'll see what I'm talking about. I'll add a card. I was kind of hoping that my glue was going to show today for my official Nintendo Player's Guide, so I could glue it together, and it's running late today, so otherwise I would have had that up. Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and sweep up and clean up here in a second, and I'll be back. See you soon. Hey, I'm back. Yeah, back to the reminiscing. You know, watching that movie, it's not just watching the movie itself. It's also watching the animation, Captain N and the Game Masters. I don't know if everybody remembers that one, but oh, that show was awesome. I loved it. I enjoyed watching that show tremendously. Where is my other brush? No big deal. Yeah, I changed the color coordination from, you know, blue to red, red to blue. You know, I'm gonna start doing that just as something fun to do. Now I'm going to undo a little bit more pressure on this one. See if it works very well on getting that. The grease off. I also made a purchase on Amazon for different cotton swabs. I got the bamboo type, the ones that are biodegradable, but they're a lot more sturdy, or at least they're supposed to be. And maybe for this project and this process, it might be a better idea to get those. So I think I'm just going to keep picking up or trying different variations of these to make sure that I get the best product possible for it. And when I get that just right, I'll start adding those in the description link below so that everybody has a chance to take a look at it, like, oh hey, those are awesome, let's go ahead and get those too. Because I'm gonna start tear apart my own Nintendo games, and I'm gonna start cleaning them and put new batteries in them as well to preserve them. Like, preserve them for not only yourself, but maybe for your own children, if that's what they're for, or whom they're for. some of these duplicates and stuff, when I keep getting a bunch of them, I'm just going to start offering them to other friends and family that want to play them too, and they don't have the capabilities to pick them up, or they have no idea what to look for, you know, whether or not it's expensive or if it's, you know, just at the right for value wise. And it's true, you need to check them out, see what's the best for value, because some of these are just extraordinarily high priced, and that's only because of like I showed before, the only reason why they're really super overpriced, or what you would seem to be, is just that little symbol right there. That's it. Whether it's first generation, second generation or not, you know, that kind of thing. You know, like 5 screw set ones, the 5 screw ones are way high, like way up there. Doesn't mean that they're a better game. It just means that it's the first print, you know, the very first of them, and that would mean that they're potentially older than the rest of them that are on the market. And some of the more rare ones, like the crying Conquest, they're hard to come by. I just thought it was very neat to see that it was from the same company that made Demon Head, you know, Clash of Demon Head. I did not know that, and I was like, oh, no wonder why I like the game so much, and I like the music to it. I mean, I like that title, so why wouldn't I like this one too? You know, like that kind of thing. It's made by the same publisher. Also, I'm in no position to say what's expensive and what's not on these games. You pay what you want. That's between you and your seller. If you want the game, you want the game. Give me a second, I'm gonna turn the slide off real quick. Let me see if I can get that mirror polish going across it. How's that look? Doesn't that look good? It's not dull in spots, it's just nice. Nice mirror polish on there. Okay, so I'm thinking maybe I just needed to start applying a little more pressure and putting another foam pad down so that I can really get that buffed out, you know, like that. I mean, that's... Put that bright light on and oh, sunspot blinds you. Okay, and now this side, I don't think I will need the extra piece of foam. Just when you have the chip set down, because now you're just raising it up from the solder, and the solder is only so high. Cool, that works. Yeah, look how dismal and dull and gross that one is. Hey, man, that's years worth of blowing on it. Yuck, 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 yuck. I like that pack though. I like these. They look neat. I'm surprised they're not an optical ROM or an EEPROM, the one with the where it's a tape over it or something. That would have been cool, where it's reprogrammable, or it's programmable. some of that gnarliness off of there. I'm sure that that's silk screen. Some of it at least. All that wear line from the cartridge meeting the PCB, and then slapping it inside the console. I'm sure that doesn't help either when you have to mess around with the actual cartridge in the console to get it to play. You know, you got to shift it to the left or the right or something like that, and you know, I'm sure it all puts some sort of stress or strain on it. Whoops, sorry, bumped the camera. That's my power cord. I have Miwu. She won't leave my cords alone when I'm not paying attention to her, so I have to cinch it up to a specific side to keep her away from everything. Otherwise, she'll get into it, and she gets into it quick too. And the only way that I ever catch her is if I hear her chowing down on it. I mean, I hear her smacking and chewing on cords, and I look over out of the corner of my eye, and sure enough, she's got her paw wrapped around it, cupping the cord and just chewing on it. And I'm like, baby girl, what are you doing? You're gonna get electrocuted doing that. You don't want to do that to a power cord. What are you thinking? I don't know. I'm trying to keep her from doing that. I don't want to put a bunch of vinegar down on everything. Then my whole house will smell sour, and it'll be like, with my sense of smell, I don't think so. I'm not going to be able to do that. I know there's anti-scent things for pets to keep them away, but a lot of those they're not really necessarily a deterrent. They're more of an attractant for her. It's like she knows that it smells bad, and she's going to chew on it anyway just to spite you. I'm not kidding you. She's very clever like that. She's like, dumb human. Oh man, definitely makes me, keeps me on my toes having her around. Okay, I'm looking for something specific here. I need to clean off this. Sorry for the dead air space. You don't see me. Just need to get my piece of sandpaper here. Oh! And that would be the wheels on my... There we go. Sorry about that. Do some clever editing on there. No, probably not. I'll probably just leave it in there. Just be advised so you guys don't get motion sickness. I may bump the camera. Alright, I think it's dry now, so I can go ahead and start. I'm sure it's going to go mirror polish again on this side too. Oh yeah, I can already see it. It's getting that gnarliness right up. Okay, for Double Dragon. Yeah, sorry about all the digressions and stuff. I just kind of go off on a tangent or a rant or something, and I kind of skip ahead on things. For Double Dragon, how many of you know how to do the power-up thing where on, like, I think it's stage 2 or 3? Or 2. Right before the wood stage. You know, before you do that, where you go up to that big metal beam, and you bring the character over to it, and then you step off screen, or you go back over, and then you come back, and then you just beat the crap out of that same beam over and over again to get your character's level up. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, I'll show it when I play the game to test it out. Show you what I'm talking about. It's really awesome. I mean, and it's not Game Genie cheat either. It's just it's part of the game that you could do that. And I wonder who came up with that, or who came up with it and figured it out in the first place. Because they didn't show it in the movie, but when they were talking about it, Fred Savage says to the Wizard, "You got 50,000 in Double Dragon?" I could see that easily done with 50,000 if you're willing to sacrifice one of your lives. And well, of course, you're gonna have to pump a few quarters into the that particular arcade cabinet to get that score, but it's still cool. What I don't care about, or what I don't care for on Double Dragon, is when you get a little bit further ahead and you are leveled up and you start doing the roundhouse kick, where when you kick, and then you do a roundhouse kick to kick them in the head and they duck every time almost. It's like, how did the P.O.W duck? How does he crouch down to miss that kick to the head when right as soon as he crouches down, it's the foot right into his head? It just seems like nonsense. It's like, what come on, what are you doing? Okay, time for cleanup. Actually, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and cancel, or I'm going to close this session out, and then I'll start a new one here in a second. See you guys in a few. Everybody, I'm back. It's like time for the reveal. I find one of the most effective ways to destroying an P.O.W is by using either a elbow. Usually the elbow works probably one of the best. It used to be when I was younger as a kid, jump kick, the dragon kick used to be my absolute favorite attack, and it was one of the more least effective ones for myself personally. Now it's like I can't execute it, and it doesn't want to work on the bot or the enemy that I'm attacking. It just doesn't want to work on them. So maybe we'll find out whether or not this particular version of the cart where it does work, and on the other one it does not. Hey, we noticed, well, at least I noticed it. I don't know if anybody else did, but you can see on the two different versions of the Mario 2 that I own, one spawns more enemies while the other one is missing that enemy along that one area. It was like, what was going on there? That's interesting that we would have versions of the game that's a little more difficult than the next. So, with that said, how many people are doing specific types of gaming and are using a newer version or an outdated version of the game? It makes you wonder. I was like, okay, so you're familiar. So you're familiar with that particular version of the game. Okay, I can understand that completely. More power to you to play it then. But make sure that you tell people which version it is, because if you're going to be doing, like, say, a speed run, and somebody else wants to try to attempt that, and if they don't have the same cartridge, they'll never be able to do that, ever, because the game is not the same. Does this one? I thought there was a little corrosion right there on that. And it says it's a C4, but I don't believe that. I think it's a resistor, but I know this is a cap. Are these caps then too? Or are they resistors that, and they're just marked down as C? Yeah, C2 right there. I mean, the capacitors are blue though on the outside, aren't they? When they're in that shape and form factor? I don't know. Maybe I'm just being nitpicky right now. But for a future project, actually I have a couple future projects here coming up. I'll be working on a PlayStation Original, or PSX. I was donated 2 of them just recently, yesterday, by a really good friend of mine. She also donated to me an original Xbox, which needs some some TLC, and well, with 3 consoles to work on, that's going to give me some wonderful projects to do here in the near future. So I'm going to be looking forward to getting the parts that I would need to replace power supplies, capacitors, and the works. It's just going to be an excellent attempt to repair video. And I don't guarantee nothing that it's going to actually work after I'm done with it. Because this is all I'm just trying things. I have it's a limited process for me. I know what it will work and what won't. And sometimes those optical lenses, when you replace them, they don't work. And I guess that they have an actual solder blob underneath in a certain spot on the ribbon cable that you need to separate in order to get them to work. So it's going to be one of those type of touch and go kind of things, unless it was pulled from a working console, which would be very neat to get a part like that, like a power supply or something like that for it. But we'll figure it out. I'll get her going. I also have a non-working Sega Nomad. I have a working Sega Nomad up on the cupboard right now, and I'm not going to mess with it whatsoever. I am not going to change that from its stock playability. I like the way the screen works. I played it back on ship when I was in the Navy, and I am not going to change it now. It hasn't changed. It hasn't degraded with time. The screen looks fantastic on it still. It plays wonderfully. So until it just goes completely dead on me, I most likely won't be doing nothing with it. But however, I have a second one that is in non-working condition right now, and I'm going to buy a capacitor kit, and I most likely end up getting a screen kit too, and then I'm going to go ahead and replace its screen and its caps. And now that's going to be a very interesting video as well. It's not going to guarantee that it's going to work afterwards, but however, it's still going to be very cool for everybody to take a look at what it looks like on the inside of it. I mean, the technology that was put into those consoles back in the day, yeah, wow. It was very impressive. Eventually I'll end up picking up Game Boy Advances and then putting screens inside of those as well, so I can have a backlit screen Game Boy Advance. But it's almost like, why even pick up a Game Boy Advance when you can get yourself a DS Lite or a DS, the one with the ability to play Game Boy Advance games in it. It just seems kind of frivolous to pick up one and then have to put a screen in it, unless you already own it, or you're picking one up that has it already built in, that kind of thing. To tell you the truth though, I prefer the DS version of it, so you could just use that. That's what I'm using now for my Game Boy Advance games. Well, I also have the Game Boy Player, and that's excellent because you can play not just Advance, but all your Game Boy games. Well, at least whatever ones that are compatible with it. I'm sure you understand where I'm coming from on that. Now we're trying to get down to the nitty gritty, trying to get that pressure on it so that it'll get that whatever greasy leftover residue is. And I'm not bumping it with my finger either, like my pad on my finger. I'm just trying to get it all off of here. When I get the bamboo versions of these cotton swabs, it's going to be a lot more, I'd hope it would be a lot more easier process and they won't crap out on me, because these things have been just, they're not what they used to be, or they're not meant for this application. They're meant for like in your ear. They're a cotton swab for your ears, not for cleaning electrical equipment with some form of abrasion, an abrasive nature to it. So how does that look? So is it getting there? Actually, I think we're pretty much there. Let me go ahead and turn this light off. A little bit on that one's a little hazy. Again, a little bit of haze all the way along this whole stretch right there. Okay, so it's not, we're really, really close. We're almost done with this one. Then I can move on to the next cart. And with any luck, it's going to be very easy to clean as well. But this one really polished up nicely. I mean, we're almost to that mirror polish where we're looking for. So obviously this is going to play immediately as soon as it goes into the console. Let's take a look here now. Looking sharp. And of course this side looks really good too. You know, of course there's going to be that regular wear from usage. That looks so much better than what it was. You almost see a cart cleaner line on it, where they had something on the cart cleaner and it just kind of like scrubbed it across it. Alright. Alright, we're good to go on that one. It's ready to be put into the console as soon as I put it back together again. Alright, give me a second. I'm going to go ahead and clean up and I'll be back with the other cart. Alright, other cart time. Now this one is going to be just the regular secure bit. Let's see what the chipset looks like on this one. Might be the traditional ones that we're already used to seeing. Looks clean on the inside. Yeah. No gnarliness. So the cart itself looks great. Now this one should really polish up nicely as well. And yes, I'll do a side by side for comparison. Same, looks like it's the same chipset. What do you think? Side by side? Let's get that up there like that. Like overlapping. Silk screen's a different color. You see that? Cool. busy cleaning it up real quick. And I like working on this side first before I work on the other one. And give me a second. I'm going to go ahead and get another sheet of foam so that it's propped up properly. There we go. Yeah, when I was playing this for Double Dragon, the caves used to just absolutely annihilate me. You get right up to those two P.O.W, and then when you get into the caves, I couldn't find my way around for years. I was like, what am I doing in here? How do I, how do you keep going? How do you keep progressing? Where do you go after this? And, well, I finally figured it out for myself. Because a lot of times I refrain from watching completion videos or walkthroughs or speedruns or any of those things, because I'd like to figure it out for myself. There's just certain things in video games that I'd prefer to find it for myself than to have somebody else show me how to do it. But like River City Ransom, I did have to look for that one. I had no idea who I had to defeat first to defeat the next boss just to get into River City High School. That was a tough one for me. But other than that, every game that I've ever played, I've done it myself. Of course, with basic walkthroughs, I mean, there's always catalogs and Electric Gamely Monthly, and some people have their entire channel based on just that magazine alone, and that's awesome, right? I mean, especially if it's part of your collection. Man, is this ever going to be nice and polished up when it's finished? It looks like it's going to be a really nice board. Alright, let's use an eraser on it. Sharpen it up real quick. Yeah, having multiple consoles donated to the channel is just awesome. I'm, forever grateful having such wonderful friends and, amazing subscribers. Again, that's not something that I'm looking for the channel. You don't have to subscribe. It's just, it'd be really nice for you to go ahead and watch the video and make a comment, share, like it, and emulate. Play the games that you want to. Handicap the heck out of yourself so that it's almost virtually impossible to beat the game. And then show people that you can actually beat it with one hit point. Or you can beat it with one life. If the game doesn't allow you to do that for a setting, set yourself to only having one life instead of having infinite lives. For me, I like making it so that it's just like uber easy, so I can get it down right, and then I can test myself later if I've ever wanted to. I never got around to doing that part of it because, well, we all know these things already by now. Oh, yeah, you can already see that. I can see myself in it already. This is going to be one polished up PCB. And when I say PCB, I mean printed circuit board, so that everybody knows what that means. I mean, come on. Yeah, just with Double Dragon, I just love the beginning sound, or the background music, BMG. I really enjoyed listening to it, and I could listen to that all day long. I made, or I remixed the song with an editor, and I put an echo and I made stereo out of it, and it turned out almost perfect the way I wanted it to. You know, it just sounds really good. Maybe one of these days I'll make a video on it. There's a few other songs in Nintendo games that I just absolutely find mesmerizing. One was Journey to Solace, the beginning song, and then the stage song too. I really enjoy listening to that one again and again, over and over. It doesn't get old. It's never repetitive for me. And another one would be Sagila's Cave from Rygar. If anybody knows what that one is, yeah, that's one heck of an impressive song by Technos. And nobody's come forward and claimed making of it for Sagila's Cave. Nobody in Technos has come forward and said, I'm the musician or the composer that made this particular song. Yet, I mean, I looked it up. I was trying to find out if there's any type of copyrights or, you know, like a specific person to give credit to for creating the song, and nobody's come forward and said that, yeah, I'm the one that made it. Yeah, a lot of people are watching my videos too, my music videos, the ones that I created for the channel, those little jingles. Thank you for watching those. I hope you like them. I have them playing in the background a lot. It keeps my mind at ease, and I don't have to worry about any unnecessary conflicts of interest out there. You know? Okay, give me a second. I'm gonna clean up. Woo-woo. And to tell you the truth, I really enjoy cleaning 2 carts at a time. Especially if it's 2 of the same cartridge. Because at least I know that I'm being like very much so productive. And it keeps my brain occupied on the same subject matter, at least. Trying to. I mean, how many people have seen the different variations of Double Dragon out there? I'm not talking about the newer versions of them out right now. I'm talking about this one right here, the original Double Dragon. How many people have seen the different consoles it's on? It's on every console. It's on the Amstrad. It's on the Commodore. Yeah, I said it. It's on the Sega Genesis. It's on the Super Nintendo. It's I think it was on the Atari Lynx. I think it was on the Game Gear. I think it was on every single console that's out there. Had a version of Double Dragon on it. It's that popular of a game. At least I would think it's that popular. I thought it was. I thoroughly enjoyed playing this game so much. I mean, I think I would warm up with another game, and then I would end up playing this one just to get to a specific spot. And if I couldn't get anywhere on it, I would turn it off and go to a different game. Namely, Part 2, you know, like Double Dragon 2, which most likely would be the next one that I'll clean. Is that a crack in the glass already? crazy. Oh, I was just looking at my shot glass, and it's already got like cracks in it. Get that squeaky clean on this thing. This will be a game that's going to immediately play. I don't think I'm going to have any issues with this one. Yeah, but of course I said that about a previous game, and I was just having nothing but issues with it. Oh man. It was like I couldn't get the stuff off of it, whatever was on it. And it was like a grease. And even at 100, you know, like the 99% proof rubbing alcohol wouldn't cut through it. We're getting there. So tomorrow, if the storm comes through and it's really, really heavy, what I'll do is if my basement does get wet and flooded out and all that, I'll bring the camera down and I'll set it all up so that everybody gets to see the you know, the aftermath, what I'll have to do to clean it all up and scrub everything all down. And yeah, maybe, I don't know. I might just keep that stuff to myself. I don't know if I even want to share any of that. I'd rather have it just like this, playing Nintendo games and stuff. It's more my style for my channel here. Oh, the cat's active. Uh-oh. She woke up from her nap. She's sleeping right over there. Okay, this is gonna look really nice. Oh yeah, look at that. Versus what it was. Yeah, that looks really, really good. Wonderful. Well, it's time to work on the other side. Okay, this is where I'm gonna, yeah, give me 1 second here. I had to close that session out real quick. My cat literally shot this across the room to me, trying to get me to play a game with her. So I'll be back in a little bit. You guys go ahead and just take a break and a breather. Hey everybody, I'm back. It took me a little bit longer than I thought it was going to. I was busy working on a video. I was getting Zelda 2 up and ready for upload and download, and that for YouTube, so that I can download it a second time and then upload it to Instagram. It's a process. So I'm getting busy on it. And I nearly forgot to take my med tonight. Nearly, but I got her, so I'm good. That squeaky clean. There's really not much on there. It's just really nice to get it all buffed out and get it all off of there anyway. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to even try to use Game Genie cheats with this, because I can get fairly far with Double Dragon either way. It's not like I'm attempting to beat it or anything. I'm just making sure that the game is playable and that it doesn't just cut out in the middle of the process of playing it. Like just the other day when I had my friend come over, she and I we played Conker's Bad Fur Day on the N64, and right in the middle of our gaming session, the N64 crashed on us. It literally, I've never seen that console ever crash, so I'm definitely going to need to pull apart my N64 and clean it just as much as I did with my other consoles. Ooh, sorry about that. I'll have to definitely take apart Conker's Bad Fur Day. I may just replace its battery. I was like, why not, right? At least replace the battery on it. And yeah, it's a battery game. It has a battery. You can save your progress in it. Okay, so this is definitely clean. Let's see. Mirror polish. Yeah, let me get that light real quick. Oh yeah. A little hazy right in there, but that's just a little bit more buffing. Like right in this little region, right in there, there's a little buffing, but otherwise, man, that is just spot on. Awesome. Yeah, so both of these carts are going to play immediately. Let's see if I can do the idea that one will work with jump kick or dragon kick or whatever it's called, and then the other one with the elbow, and see which is more effective in which version of the game against the Bobos on stage 3. That's I'm just theoretically saying if I can even get that far. I don't know. We'll see how it works out. I might not even get that far in the game. But yeah, that's really spot on and looking sharp. So yeah, let's go ahead and put them back together again, and I'm gonna go ahead and turn on the console and check it out. See you guys in a few. Everybody, I am back. Let's play Double Dragon. This is the original one. This is the one where I am unable to use jump kick to actually make contact with the Bobo. So let's see if I can do it in this one. Or is it going to be an elbow session? don't know if anybody else has seen that, but it looked like it flipped up for a second there. What was that? And you notice I don't have the game Genie in either. This isn't emulation. This is actually right on the console. You see that roundhouse kick right there? That's the one that I find absolutely obnoxious. See how they just duck out every time almost? It's like, come on. Why did you even put that kick in the game if they're going to duck every time you freaking try to kick them with it? Come on. Go find something to do. Go put their toys. Yeah, this is the spot that I was talking about with that iron bar, or the beam, or whatever it's called. And yeah, you can see the guy right there. And if you didn't have the turbo button going, it would take a lot longer to do this particular process. And get all those hearts there. Those hearts right there. Yeah, it takes a part of experience points. So my timer will be probably about 99 seconds left before I even get up there to beat Chin. I think that's all you get is 6, or is it 7 or 8? It wouldn't still be going, would it? There you go. There's a couple of glitches here and there, isn't there? Must be because I haven't ran the game in a long. Yeah, see the 99 seconds? Should try to make it to the steps. pretty tricky too, because your character will actually get stuck right here, and that could be like 2 seconds worth of your time taken off right there if you have to worry about time. And that roundhouse kick too, it usually gets in the way. So it seems like it's really more of a hindrance than an actual benefit to use it. That has to be one of my more favorite moves. See, they usually duck it. You know, it's like, come on, what are you ducking that for? And just use an elbow. One elbow, man. Wow. That's why this game is different, where you can just use the elbow on them, and you smoke them almost every time. And that's this version of the game. He gets that really awesome kick and punch right away. Come on. It's like, quit being cheap. What's this game doing? It's getting stuck. Like, glitching out and getting stuck in spots. Come on! I'm definitely not using the Game Genie, so this is just weird. That can't work. Okay, so maybe this one is the one where you get to the jump kicks, and it's not just elbows. No, it's the elbows. Yeah, because they usually dip or duck on this one. Life sucker. Because every time I see these things, it's like there's got to be a pattern to it, and I can never figure it out. What was that? Look at that life he just took off me. Look at that hit collision too. Completely missing him. Got it. Good enough. Let's try the other version. You know, this is this one right here with the the gold and the that screw set. Screw bit. And here's the other one right here. Let's see if this one doesn't do half those glitchy things that this one, the other one did. Because that's just brutal. Is this one going to spawn more enemies? You know, that kind of thing? I'm just curious. Hope it's far enough. Sometimes I mess that up. So what is up with that screen flash? This one was a little bit faster. But that could also be just because I was using the baseball bat. Is she gonna make it down the steps? Nope. Ooh. Didn't look like he had the counters that the other one did. We'll see. Saying something a little bit different about this particular version of the game. Looks like a larger hit collision area. And that's not because I practiced either with the other game. It just looks like it's just it feels easier to play. Like I have more space to get them and to attack them. Maybe more time to even get them too. Before they hit me or punch me. It's not like River City Ransom where they come in just wailing on you. So is this the one where I can do jump kick on him? Or is it going to just miss him every time? Like I said, this is the one where you can just jump kick him. I knew it. There was a version of the game where you could just get him with the jump kick. Oh. Oh, I knew that was going to happen. But yeah, the elbow for me it works a lot better. But still, it's like I knew there was a version where you could just get in with the jump kick. And it worked way better. And in here, it wasn't so insufferable on the timing of not getting hit. Oh, look at that! Oh, I knew he was going to get hit with one. Come on! Come on! You can't tell me there's not a difference between the carts! Oh, no! Oops. But, right there, I just... Ah, that's awesome. That's awesome right there. I didn't have to go this way, which I shouldn't have anyway. I'll have to go through this insufferable area again. The distance you can get them with it is much, much further away. Come on, work. Yeah, I knew this was going to happen. Got it. His facial expressions are hilarious. Oh, come on. What's this game trying to pull? It pulled me right off of the edge. Oh, man. So, yeah, there has to be a factor between the two. You know, like, different variations of the game, because this one was way easier on well, this one right here was way easier on using jump kick against the P.O.W. versus this version of the game. So there are drastic differences between the playability of each of these. You know, it's good to know, right? Especially if you want to speed run through a game cartridge called the Nintendo game. All right, well, thank you all for watching. You know, be safe, stay healthy, happy gaming, take care.